All right, welcome to the video. I'm back and I'm here to stay. And just want to mention a few things before I get started with today's lesson. I've been a little inconsistent the last year, and I know some of you have been emailing me, hey, where you been, what's going on? And I have to tell you, I really appreciate that. But the main reason is I think I was trying to hit a home run with every video that I made. And I think what I'm going to do from now on is from time to time I have more complex tune, like some Jerry Reed stuff and some other things that are a little more difficult for more advanced players. But I think in the meantime, I want to help people that are newer to fingerstyle. So what I mean by that is, a few left-hand chords, as long as you know like C, A minor, G, F, D, D minor, D, those open position chords, we can get you started, okay? And now some of this is you're going to be playing up the neck, but I'll explain to you how it works. It's actually quite easy. So what I want to do is take some really cool classic fingerstyle tunes and show you a really simple way of doing it. And then down the road, I'll make other videos and with more and more licks that you can incorporate into these tunes. So I'm going to start today with Cannonball Rag. I don't know who wrote it originally, but I know that Merle Travis made it very famous on the guitar. And it's a fun piece to play. And the great thing about it is there's all kinds of different licks you can throw in once you get familiar with it. Okay, so let's start off with, one other thing that's really important I want to mention too, is I know that one of my subscribers in a video, I think last year, he says, Nick, I try and play along with the song, but I can't get it. It's like, look, if you're trying to play along with something that you don't know, you're just either entertaining yourself or wasting your time, okay, depending on what you want to accomplish, right? But if you want to get good, just take one chord at a time. Make sure you know it. One lick at a time, right? If you have something like this, right? Just break it down. Right? Take your time and play it slow. Make sure you know it. Your fingers memorize it. Your brain memorizes it. Okay? So I really, really want to make sure that you do that, right? Because otherwise, you're just going to be wasting your time. It's not going to really help you. Okay, so let's get started. Cannonball Rag. So I'm going to show this Merle Travis style, thumb and one finger, and then I'm going to do it more like Chet Atkins style, thumb and two finger. Okay. Now I know that some people in my comments, some other videos I made are like, why are you showing them one finger? There's a couple of reasons. One, I think it's a great thing to have in your arsenal, in your right hand technique arsenal, right? Because there's some really cool things you can do, and I'll demonstrate that. And it's also, the other reason is that it's helped people who are struggling sometimes with two fingers. If you just break it down to one finger and they get it, then they can move to using the two finger right hand technique as they improve, right? So it's up to you, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to show you both ways. It's pretty straightforward. And so let's get going. So here's Cannonball Rag. So I'm just going to play a real simple version of it. If you want, I posted a video on my channel. It was a performance from 10 or 15 years ago, me playing this, and it goes on and on. I play a lot of different licks in it, but it's worth checking out so you can see the possibilities, okay? So I'm just going to do a very basic performance and show you how to play this beautiful tune. All right, so start off with, I'll just play it once through. There's basically two parts, right? So this is A part. Goes twice through the chord progression. Then it switches to this. Anyways, I didn't play that very well. It doesn't matter. So let's start off with, I'll show you the one finger, the right hand technique, and then, but let's get the chords first, right? So we've got this E7 chord. This is like, if you make a C7 down here, right? So all you're gonna do is move it up so that your first finger is at the 5th fret. So same chord, move it up to the 5th fret, and you're gonna take your 3rd finger and put it where your pinky is, right there, and then we're gonna put the pinky up here. It's still an E7 chord, okay? Now we're not gonna play the A string at all. And you're gonna mute it with the tip of your 2nd finger on the left hand. So it gets muted there, right? You shouldn't have to worry about it too much. And in the style, the percussiveness of having that string muted kind of helps the bass line sound, right? Fabs it up a little bit. So we're just gonna go, there's the bass line. Okay, so I'm playing the D and G strings as well. Okay, so let me give you the fingering. So first finger, 5th fret, B string. 2nd finger, 6th fret, D string. 3rd finger, 7th fret, G string. And your pinky on the 7th fret of the B string, of the high E string. Should sound like that. Then you got the low E on the bottom, right? So you're just gonna go like this. Okay? And then we'll throw on the melody. So I'm just holding the chord and I'm just going, okay? Now I'm gonna move to this A chord, okay? And so the way we're gonna do it in this style is you're gonna play the thumb at the 5th fret, right? And then at 5th fret of the low E string, your first finger, 5th fret of the B string, 2nd finger, 6th fret of the G string, and your 3rd finger at the 7th fret of the D string, like this. And then I'm gonna put my pinky, I'm gonna put a B on top. So that makes this A major 9, okay? So this B is called a 9. And one of these days I'm gonna make a video and explain chord progressions and chord extensions, give you a better understanding. It's actually it's more simple than a lot of people think, but anyway. So then we got this chord, right? And the same thing, you're gonna play, there's your bass notes, right? The D and G strings together, and the low E string, so. So the same thing on top. I always play the B string open at the very end, so. And the very last note, you can play the open D string because we're going to go to a D9 chord. So it fits in nice, right? So let me review up to there. Right, so I played the open B and the open D at the very end. We'll do it again. Right, and then we're gonna play a D9 chord, okay? So it's a D7 chord with a 9 added to it, right? So the 9 is always a whole tone up from the tonic, right? So if we're playing a D chord and we want the 9, we just go up a whole tone from D. So that gives us an E, okay? So here's like a regular D7, right? Would be something like this. But now we're gonna add the 9. Okay, so it's a little bit different sound. But the way to play it in Travis style, and it's a really, really good thing to know, is instead of playing like this kind of a chord shape, what you want to do is take your thumb and you want to play the E and A strings at the 5th fret with your thumb. Now, if this is difficult, don't worry about playing the A string. Just play the E string at the 5th fret. But you should be able to do this. Like it was annoying for me when I first learned this, but after a while, it just comes easy. Okay. So you got your thumb playing the E and A strings at the 5th fret, your your first finger at the 4th fret of the D string, and then you're going to make a bar with your 3rd finger at the 5th fret on the G, B, and E strings. So it should sound like this. Okay? So I'll give you this part now. So I'm going, and again at the very end, I play the D and G strings open for the last alternating bass note. So like that. Now you could hold the chord and play it like that, but this is fine. And then we go to a G chord. So the melodies. Okay, so I'm just playing the E and B strings while I'm holding this chord. And then back and down to the G. I'll get to that in a minute. So when I get to the G chord, it's the last chord in the progression, I'm going to hold it just like that A chord I showed you. So thumb at the 3rd fret of the low E string, 1st finger 3rd fret B string, 2nd finger 4th fret G string, and 3rd finger 5th fret of the D string. And I'm going to make this a 6 chord, like a G6. So the 6th of G is E. So I'm just going to add an E there. Gives you that nice little harmony there, right? Okay. So let's do this part from the D. So I'm just going, that's the melody note, right? And when you're learning this stuff, break it down like that. Just take 1 chord at a time, get it right, go slow, and it'll come. It takes time. I've seen a lot of courses out there where guys like, yeah, I've learned how to be a finger picker in 5 minutes. It's like, okay, so you can take a C chord. Oh, now I'm a finger picker. If you can do that, that's great, right? But there's just so much more to it. And when I say that, I don't mean that it's more complex. It's just tons of tunes to learn and tons of little, how do I put it? Just little details and melodies and techniques that you can throw in, right? And so a lot of it is you learn tune by tune, right? It's like you could have this tune down and then you get another tune and it's like, oh, wait a minute, there's a whole bunch of other little things in here, right? So hopefully I'm going to get that all broken down for you over the next few months. Okay, so just remember this whole thing I just showed you, the first part of Cannonball Rag. I screwed that up, so watch. So, and then you repeat it. You can do this little lick. So I'm just playing the open G string, 4th fret of the D string, and then back to the open G string. And then I go into the riff, right? So. Just go into this part. So I'll just finish it. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. So we've got here a D7 chord. But what we're going to do, instead of playing the D in the root, we're going to play an A in the root, like this. But we're still going to hold the rest of the chord. So let me give you the fingering. So first finger, 3rd fret B string. 2nd finger, 4th fret, 2nd finger, 4th fret D string. Your pinky is at the 5th fret of the G string, and then your third finger is at the 5th fret of the low E string. So the melody is, you're just gonna play this note with your first finger, move it up, and just play the open E string. So you're getting this. But doing it this way, you can let that high E ring. Right? And it's got a really nice sound. So that all you gotta do in the chord is, okay, is just move this first finger up so. Like that, okay? And remember, you're playing the D and G strings. This last little chord, this is it's like a G, it's like a G7 chord, but it's actually a G9 chord, right? So it's a 7th chord with a 9. The 9 again is a whole tone up from whatever the tonic is. So if you're playing a G chord, the G is tonic, you move up a whole note to A, that's your 9, okay? So I've got my thumb in the root on the low E string, 3rd fret. Second finger is at the 3rd fret of the D string, and your first finger is at the 2nd fret of the G string, and then so here's your and then your third finger, you're gonna play the at the 3rd fret of the high E string, like that. And so let me get this to you. Let's just play that one part and then I'll show you that. Right, and then you go up to this cool little run. And this is really good to know. It's really fun to play. This is the Merle Travis galloping guitar lick, right? And he uses this in a ton of tunes. So yeah, so let's finish this. So I'm gonna go, right? And then, back to the riff. So this part here is, you're gonna go your thumb at the 8th fret of the low E string, right? Your first finger at the 8th fret of the B string, your second finger at the 9th fret of the G string, and your third finger at the 10th fret of the D string. Actually, you don't really need the B string. I put it there, you know, just because it's that shape, right? But I don't really play at the B string. So it just goes like this, right? I'll just give you the bare bones. And then you move the thumb up to the 9th fret of the E string, right? And then your second finger, leave it where it is. And then your thumb moves up to the 9th fret of the low E string. Leave your second finger at the 9th fret of the G string, and your first finger is at the 8th fret of the D string. So, and then you're gonna play, again, this is like a G7 chord, but no G in the root, right? So we've got D in the root, so 10th fret low E string. Your second finger's at the 9th fret of the D string, and your pinky is at the 10th fret of the G string, okay? So here's that little run. And then you just take this shape, move it down so that your third finger is on the 7th fret of the low E string. So same chord shape. Right? So you get that right for you. So you're just moving this shape down after this. It's super easy, right? Just the very last time, you're gonna play the B string with your first finger, right? So you're holding this chord shape. See, I'm not playing the B string, but I'm fingering it, right? And then at the very end, that's what makes it sound a little bit different, right? So again, I'm still holding the same chord, but I'm playing this. So the melody goes, oh, sorry, like that. So let me give it to you again. And back down to the G chord, okay? So that's the whole thing there. So if you want to go and play this with two fingers, totally cool if that suits your style. This little run here, you don't really need two fingers for this. Right? You can make something up that works, but to me it's just like just do that part with thumb and one finger. The other part, yeah, you can do play the high E string with your second finger and the B string with your first finger. So if we're gonna do take it from the top, I just want to make sure you can see. My fingers are going. Okay. Sometimes with two fingers, well, quite often, you got to work out certain parts that are a little, a little weird, right? Like sometimes you have to play two separate notes, not the same note, but two separate notes on two separate strings with one finger, and then play a third note, which would be on another string with your whatever finger's available, your second finger, depending on where you start. So if you start on like this, so I'm going 1, 1, and then 2, 1, 1, 2, right? It just makes sense. So I'm going, so first finger, and then second finger for the last note on the higher string. So this is on the B string, and this is on the high E string. So. Okay, and then the other part, the verse part, right? I'm just going, my second finger is playing the high E string, and my first finger is playing the B string. Sometimes you'll hear me play the third string with my pick. That's a bit of a mistake, but anyway. So I just want to make sure you can see this. See, and on the G chord, just watch. So what I'm doing here is I go first finger on this note, second finger, right hand, right, on that note, and then second finger again for that note. So I'm going. So I'm going second finger, first finger, second finger, second finger. And again, this part too, you just really need one finger. But I could play the high E string with my second finger. I go. I did this little at the very end. Okay, so just take your time with that. Listen to some other versions of Cannonball Rag. Definitely go on my channel. I posted a video which I made, I don't know, 15 years ago, but it's got a whole bunch of licks that fit into this tune. And I hope you like this format. So I'm gonna start in another week, another video of another wonderful sort of classic fingerstyle tune like Cannonball Rag. So again, I'm going to give you a basic version of it. Just work the basic version, and then down the road with Cannonball, I'm going to make another video with some a few other licks. And I'm just gonna show one more thing here too while I'm doing this, while I'm on this topic. So again, I'm not necessarily encouraging people to just play one fingerstyle with the right hand, but I think it's a really good thing to have in your arsenal, okay, of right hand techniques. So for example, if I want to do, one of the things Travis does in these tunes, he does these rolls. So instead of this part, right, he'll, over that same chord progression, he'll do a lick like this. Right. Oops. Right. So that's a really cool thing to be able to do, and that's a Travis style banjo roll. So what he's doing there is you just take, oops, stop this guitar from shaking around. What you do, for example, here, I'm gonna just play like a D7, just a partial D7 chord. So I got my pinky at the 10th fret of the D string, and my first finger is at the 7th fret of the G and B strings. So it sounds like this. And then I play the high E string open. Now I can do that the way I'm doing it, so I'm going thumb, 1, 2, thumb, 1, 2. You can go thumb, 1, 2, thumb, 1, 2, right? So I'm playing this note, but you can also play that note if you want with the third finger too. So let me just make sure you can see it. So thumb, 1, 2, thumb, 1, 3. So that's another option. I personally would go thumb, 1, 2, thumb, 1, 3, like that. But with the Travis style, he's actually raking the D and G strings and then playing that note with the pinky, with the first finger after. So he's kind of raking it. And the beauty of this versus doing this kind of thing is that when you do it the Travis way, you can mute 2 of the strings and let one ring out. So it gives you this real frantic sound, right? Oops. Right? So. Whatever, that whole kind of thing. So, you can practice that if you want. I'll give a complete lesson on that down the road, okay? But just work on this. Please leave a comment in the emails. I like hearing from you. Let me know if this helped you out. And you're always free to send an email to nicksfingerstyle@gmail.com, okay? No apostrophe in Nicks. It's just NICKS fingerstyle@gmail.com. nicksfingerstyle@gmail.com. The other thing is I'm going to be making some announcements about my fingerstyle mastery group. I've considered all kinds of ways of teaching people, and I just think that's the best way. I find that a lot of people just need mentoring. Like I remember when I first started playing fingerstyle, I always wanted to do it, and I didn't get into it really until well into my 40s. But prior to that, I played in rock bands and rhythm and blues and a little bit of jazz. And so I know what it takes to learn something, kind of from scratch. Even though I could play quite well, it was like, oh man, it was like a whole new world with the fingerstyle. And I've just found, I took some lessons. Luckily I found a guy locally here that was really good. It helped me out a lot. And I also had a friend who it was almost like a competition. Yeah, I'd be learning a tune, one of these fingerstyle tunes, and he'd be working on another one, and I'd get frustrated. I'd say, "Hey, you know what? I'm having a hard time with this part. Give this a listen." And he'd come up and get the lick right. It's like, that's great. And I'd do the same thing. Sometimes you'd be frustrated with a tune, and I'd give it a listen. It's like, that part you're having trouble with? I got it, right? So, I had a lot of help, but anyway, the main point is that a lot of you will need mentoring, right? I mean, I even know with some people, it's just the first mistake everybody makes is like, slow down, right? It's like, just like this working on this tune, right? Just get this lick right. Whoops. And even just practice the bass notes. Okay, so I hope that helps. I will have more information about my fingerstyle group and all that. And also, but please email me. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to do like a half an hour session on Zoom sometime, I'd love to get to know you. I want to find out what people's needs are. And but anyways, I think my fingerstyle mastery group will really help you out. Okay, so I'll have more information about that. And yeah, I just think it's really really important to get mentoring, to have somebody keep an eye on what you're doing. I've seen people where they play something really nice and then they kind of forget the technique and it gets sloppy again, right? Yeah, I've seen it all. So I would love to help you out. And so just send me an email. Let me know how you like this video, whether it works for you or not. And I really appreciate you watching. So thank you so much.